Now, in the money markets, we had the Naira open the week at 158.65 to the dollar, closing yesterday at 158.35. Now, for an outlook for the Naira and the fixed income space, I'm joined by Anwuli Femi Pierce, an analyst at Stanbic IBTC Global Markets. It's great to have you on the show, Anwuli. Now, let's start, first of all, by taking a look at what happened with the Naira. Tell us what happened.
Hi, Didi. Yesterday, Naira closed at 158.3545. This was basically on the back of some oil flows. We saw Shell estimated about $50 million and Mobil about $50 million the previous day.
And what's the outlook for next week?
Well, going into next week, we expect the major flow for the month. That's the NMPC fund and NMPC flow into the system. And we also expect other oil flows into the system as well. So we expect the Naira to appreciate in the 158 band.
Now, we saw 330 billion Naira injected into the system, and there was another OMO auction, a third OMO. So tell us what happened in that space.
Well, yesterday we had a maturity of 200 billion Naira into the system from the bonds, a maturity from the bonds, and we also had 130 billion from a previous OMO auction. The three auctions were as a result of the aftermath of the FAC inflows that came in last week. So we had three auctions, one on Wednesday, and one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and yesterday as well. They sold a total of 150 billion.
What are your expectations for OMO next week?
Well, going into next week, we had maturities. Since we had maturities yesterday, about 330 billion, our market is still liquid. We expect CBN to mop up more money via OMO next week.
Let's talk about the T-bill space. We hear that your yields went up across all maturities yesterday. Give us a quick update on that.
Well, most of the major reason why T-bill yields went up yesterday was because of the retap of the 6th of February bills, the 85-day bills from the OMO auction. Previously, the 85-day bill was quite illiquid and CBN retapped it. So as a result, we saw market move from about 10.54 to about 11.48. That's about 98 basis points.
Is that why we're seeing so much focus on that bill? Because, you know, same thing happened 2 sessions ago. There's a lot of selling focus on that 85-day bill. Is that likely to continue?
Yes. Well, yesterday we saw another maturity. They tapped into another maturity yesterday, which was the 6th of March. And so we don't see a lot of movement in the February bills. We'll see more movement in the March bills.
Now let's move on to bonds. There was another bearish session yesterday, it seems.
Yes, we saw some selling off yesterday. 7-year bills did about 10 basis points increase, and we saw the 20-year and 20-year bond do about 4 basis points increase. However, we see a lot of activities in the market, despite the fact we had an upward movement yesterday.
So what do you think is going to happen in that space today?
Today, most of the focus right now is on the treasury bill market, so it relatively will flat today.
So what will happen in the treasury bill market today?
Treasury market, as long as we see the OMO auction and we continue to see retapping existing maturities, then we'll see a slight increase in rates.
Now, the federal government bond, April 2017 seems to have a lot of selling focus this week. What's going on with that bond?
Yeah, we saw some offshore guys come to sell those bonds in the market, and we saw a bit of local guys come to take up the bonds in the market. So basically, the demand or the increase in yield was as a result of the offshore guys coming to sell in the market.
Now, it'd be interesting to know what the key drivers of the fixed income and the FX space will be as we move into 2014.
Well, we still don't have a CBN governor for next year, and we don't have candidates yet. Players are quite uncertain of the way forward and the continuity plan of the new CBN governor. That's a major driver. And going into next year, we're going to have an election the year after. So most of the preparations go on in the year before the election. As a result, we'll see lots of spikes, but ups and downs as a result of these two factors.
What about in terms of, you know, the inflation rate and the MPR? How's that likely to affect trading in your market?
Well, we expect for the first half of the year for it to be relatively stable. But going into the second half, when we have the new CBN governor, then we might see spikes. It depends on the continuity plan of the new CBN governor.
Now, what's the outlook for the Naira today? What's going to happen with the Naira today?
The Naira today, we expect some appreciation. We see more oil flows coming to the system. We also have sentiments of the NMPC that will come in next week. And so we see...
You have sentiment about what, sorry?
NNPC flows coming in next week.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We have the monthly NNPC flows that come into the system, and it comes in a major chunk. It comes between $250 million to about $500 million, which is usually a major impact on the market. So once the flows come in, we see some appreciation every month around the same period.
Interesting. I mean, annually. So in regards to OMO, I mean, of course, third OMO auction this week. Now, tell us, in regards to, the liquidity levels in the market, where are we now?
And we expect to open at about 598 billion this morning. It means that we still have a lot of money in the system. Overnight rates are still at 10.25, and so we expect that CBN comes back to mop most of those flows out of the market, from today till next week.
Anuli, let's leave it there. Thank you for sharing your view with us. That's Anuli Femi Pierce. She's an analyst at Stanbic IBTC Global Markets.